Hey guys, I'm excited to be speaking with you today. Thank you, Francois. I'm coming to you live from my hotel room in Zurich. So excuse the background, and yeah, just excited to be here. Have learned a lot from the speakers from the previous sessions. So thank you to the speakers, really some grateful insights. And I guess in AI, you're always learning. So as Francois says, today I'm going to talk to you about creating your own AI advisory board. Okay, so let's get started. Bringing up my screen and just going to take you through some practical steps. But before we do that, guys, just in the chat box, has anyone heard of an AI advisory board? Just want to get a sense of the room and see if you have heard of an AI advisory board. So let's see if anyone has. If you have, great. If you haven't, it's also good. We're giving you some context about that. Okay, so seems to be coming through. Essentially, also another question, guys, is are you building and using GPTs or GPTs in ChatGPT or any other apps? So quite a lot of you saying no, which is great. Really keen to do a deep dive with you. So nope. Haven't seen any yeses come through. Okay, great, guys. This is really hands-on. So as Francois says, this is going to be shared with you afterwards. So I'm going to give you some context about a AI advisory board, and then also just real-life stories. And then I'm going to give you a practical Google Doc. You literally just copy and paste this, edit it where needed, and that'll be sent over to you. So an AI advisory board, essentially think of it as your business partner or a collective group of people that you can use as a sounding board, 24/7. They will play different roles in your business, and then essentially you'll be able to work with them. So yeah, an AI advisory board came across a concept through a CEO training session that I was on. There's a guy by the name of Jeff Woods, and essentially he is from the AI Collective. So Jeff Woods, go check him out if you want to get a little bit more insight into AI-driven leadership. But he was sharing a story which resonated with me. And it was about a company a multinational that he had to consult to. The board was, they had a hostile board. They told the CEO, you need to sort this out within 3 months, otherwise you're going to be fired. So what he did is he built an AI advisory board for the CEO with different personas, different personalities for the different AI board members. And then he took a personality test of each human AI board member. He fed this into some content, worked on the board pack and board presentation with the CEO. The AI was saying, don't include so many points. Susan's personalities, one that she doesn't pay a lot of attention. She's going to switch off. So crafting those personalized messages. And what resulted happening was this hostile board had an amazing outcome. And they reached a good decision, and they actually shared with the CEO that it was a great board meeting. So you can see the power of utilizing AI board members. So great talk by Jeff Woods there. All right, thank you for leaving the comments and just giving me some insight. Let's get into it. So let this resonate with you. This sentence over here, it's coming through shortly. So AI won't replace your job. People using AI will. So that's something just to bear in mind, that AI is not going to replace your job. People using AI will. I think there's a lot of people that are nervous about AI taking and replacing jobs. But the way I like to look at it is, you're all on this call learning and keen to learn how to use AI. So you're already on your way to becoming a superhuman. with creating and utilizing AI in your business. So I think that's always something to remember, is just keep learning with AI. Okay, so who am I? I am Mike. I'm a founder. I'm a founder of 4 startups in the event space, in the software space, and recently in the automation space with Zapdash. I'm a builder. I like to build products, teams, processes, and scale them. I'm a creator. I enjoy creating music, creating art, and just generally creating software. And I'm a father of twin girls. So that is who I am, and I'm very curious about how technology shapes our world. Right, let's get into it. So an AI advisory board. I'm not going to go through all these slides. This is something that you can read once you get this downloadable presentation. It will be sent as is. But essentially, we know artificial intelligence is just transforming different industries, and it's about how to work with it, analyzing data and helping you make key business decisions. And that's essentially the role of an AI advisory board. Sorry, I'm looking to my other screen here as well. So if I'm not looking directly into the camera, you know why. But the role of an AI advisory board is essentially, it's going to help you make key decisions. It's going to act as, a think tank, essentially, 24/7. It's about how much you feed into the AI as well. So that's something to bear in mind when you are working with this. There was a good comment earlier on by Quibus Klein in the comments about using too many LLMs can be a challenge. So yeah, let's, for me, I like to use ChatGPT, but whatever your choice of LLM or AI platform that you're working with, if they are able to allow you to build GPTs, I'd say stick to that one. So it learns about you and your business, as opposed to switching to quite a few. Right, so it also helps in risk assessment, compliance, financial forecasting, and customer retention. And it learns on real-time information. It's unbiased recommendations, and there's also voting in the AI as well. So this is your AI advisory board. The way that I've liked to set it up essentially is by providing a relatable persona. So in this case, I've given these GPTs names, and I've also given them little profile pictures. You can do this in any art app of your choice. Personally, for me, I use something called Midjourney, which you prompt, and then you can get the pictures through. Whatever you use, essentially, you'll be able to now add these personas. Okay, so what do these AI board members do? So meet Alex. He's a strategist. His expertise is in business growth, market trends, and strategic foresight. You almost want to craft this for each of your board members. His persona, his data-driven, he's analytical, he's a long-term thinker, and his role, he helps define business expansion and strategies and competitive positioning. So his key inputs are business plans, competitor analysis, and market trends. So this essentially is the data that you're going to feed into the GPT. So that's the key inputs you're going to be putting in there. And then some sample questions. So, what are the best growth strategies for my firm? Analyze the market and recommend expansion opportunities. So Alex is really going to help you strategize your business. And I'll show you how I've done it within one of the businesses by uploading documents. The board members can interact with each other. So you're able to say, hey, Alex, speak to Emma. And these AI agents will be able to collaborate on either that prompt, or they'll be able to collaborate on the piece of information that you've shared with them. So it's great that they don't operate in silos, but more so they can work together. So then we've got Sophia. She's the compliance guru. Her expertise is in regulatory compliance, legal risk management. Her persona is she's a bit more conservative. She's very meticulous and focused on risk mitigation. Her role is to ensure all business operations comply with financial regulations. Her key inputs are regulatory policies, industry laws, internal compliance reports. So if you've got these reports, you can feed it information on industry laws, either by PDFs or URLs. So you really want to grow the knowledge base of this GPT. And I'll show you how to do that in the practical session. Some sample questions are my business practices aligned with the latest regulations? So if you're feeding it a real-time website, then Sophia essentially will reference that website. So you really want to make sure that these GPTs have the best option and chance of success to help you. Then you've got Max. He's the sales and marketing expert. His expertise is sales funnel optimization, digital marketing. He's very energetic, creative, customer focused, and the behavior and the tone also comes through when you're interacting with these GPTs. So essentially it's really focused around growth and marketing. See some of the sample questions over here. And then we've got Olivia. She's a financial analyst. She looks at investment strategies. She looks at the budgeting of the business and forecasting. And she can really help you with those key decisions of, what are my areas of budget that need optimization? That's a sample question you could ask Olivia. How can I maximize profitability with minimal risk? All right, then we've got Ethan. He is the tech visionary. Ethan helps me specifically with automation tips, tools to use, also how the processes can be structured. If you do want some code as well, you can actually get that code to a certain degree. Otherwise, there's some other tools that you can reference, but Ethan certainly does help from a technical aspect. So you can see, his key inputs are business operations, tech infrastructure, and automation needs. And then sample questions are what AI tools can streamline my operations? How can I integrate automation into my business? Okay, so that's Ethan, the tech visionary. And then lastly, we've got Emma, and she's all around customer support. She's going to be, focusing on customer retention, service personalization, and the user experience. And she's got some sample questions around what improvements can I make to the customer experience. So if you have frequently asked questions or you've documented processes in your business, you've got feedback, real-time feedback surveys from your clients, upload it to the knowledge base. Give this GPT the best chance to understand your customer process, and it can advise on that. And how can I personalize services to enhance client satisfaction? Okay, like I said, these board members essentially access the real-time data. If there's a decision, that they need to make, there is a voting mechanism that allows the AI to recommend the best decision from different viewpoints as well. Something that I've put into the personas, which again are in the practical Google Doc that will be shared, is actually use real life inspirations. So what do I mean by that? I put in Steve Jobs, I put in Neil Patel, Alex Hormozy. These are key industry leaders, Elon Musk. I put them into the GPT's persona as well. So they're also referencing anything from these key business leaders. And I think that's something to remember as well. You want to leverage off AI's collective knowledge base. So use your own company resources. And again, it's debatable. I'll go into questions around privacy and so forth. But then also on top of your knowledge base, I would recommend using key decision leaders or leaders in industry that you look up to. All right, some of the documentation you can include is strategy reports, compliance documentation, sales and marketing data. If you're comfortable with financial records, you can put that in. Alternatively, use sample data, and you can always just know that it is safe. Like I said, customer service feedback, and anything related to your technology stack. Okay, so just quick steps before we go into actually creating these GPTs. There was a comment or advice from Tian that spoke about, getting a paid GPT account, ChatGPT account. It's an investment of 400 Rand. Watch YouTube videos, watch Propulsion. I think Francois does a great job of explaining things as well. But really, that's what you'll need initially. You need a paid ChatGPT account first. So it's an investment in yourself and your business. Then really sit down with ChatGPT and identify your business needs. Prompt it before you start building these board members and GPTs. Where do you need guidance in your business? It's great to have board members, that are real life human beings. So never just count on the AI board members, but always look at, maybe there's a board member you can't approach. Maybe there's a role that you can essentially assign to this GPT that will help. Gather the data that's needed, and then start training the GPT. Interact with it. I use the AI advisory board for myself. But in our company, we've created GPTs, so marketing, sales, and my teams can interact with those GPTs that allow them to ask real life questions, retrieve documents. Salespeople can also get training and do role playing. Marketing teams can analyze the websites. They not only from a data point of view, but also from a UI and user experience point of view. So really keep training the GPTs and get collective feedback. Assign the roles. So like I said, set up those personas, and then continuously monitor the outputs and refine from there. And if you do want to integrate with other systems and get more technical, you can do that as well. Alrighty, now that the talk is done, not the whole talk, but essentially some context, we're going to go into a little bit of practical information. So in terms of setting up your persona, there's a link that will be shared with you in the comment section. So it's to HubSpot. Essentially what I do with this persona is for my market. I create a persona. You can create a persona for the GPT here, but I use ChatGPT to do that. But essentially, I start building out different personas. So for Flock, as you can see here, we've got Agency Amy, and I've really just put in tools that they need, what communication they like, what are their goals, objectives, biggest challenges, and how do we help, and why do they love our eventing platform called Flock. So that's all of that. I mean, you can start putting these in. And that's just a tool to use to help you create these personas. So the reason why I'm showing you this is essentially I'm creating a knowledge base of documents, company profile, our goals for 2025. We've included them over here. Budgets. Again, use information that you're okay with. I follow a community called Build in Public on X or Twitter, and they essentially, they're okay with sharing some insights into their business. I know not everyone is, but it's really just been eye-opening to see that collective feedback as they start building these businesses. So it's up to you. Personally, I'm okay with it because I use this by myself. To what level OpenAI is utilizing your documents, I'm unsure of, so I can't advise on that. But if you're okay with it, like I am personally, I just use it for myself. So all of those goals are there. All the documents, even company registration documents, all of that is pretty much uploaded into our documents. So once you have that, essentially you go into ChatGPT. Again, you should have a paid for ChatGPT account. That'll allow you to go into your GPTs. So you just click on your profile over here, go to my GPTs, and you can create a GPT over here. So as you can see, I've already created these GPTs. but I'm going to show you how to edit one of them. All right, so I go into edit over here. I've added Alex's photo. I've named him according to the role that he's going to play. It's just easy to call up on these GPTs when you see them. And then I've added a description over here. If you want to follow along and do this afterwards, essentially you'll be getting access to this document here. So once you've got your GPT plus account set up, navigate to those GPTs, and you can literally copy and paste from here. So let's do it with Alex. I've given him the name over here. Here's a description, and it's for each GPT that I've included it. So you've got access to all of that. All right, so the next point that you want to do is, once you've given it a description, is you want to give it a set of instructions. So as you can see here, I'm copying and pasting, and I've said influenced by Elon Musk and Steve Jobs. This is the role and purpose, and essentially the behavior, the data usage, anything to avoid, and who to work with. Okay, so let's just copy and paste that. Go into ChatGPT and into the instructions over here. Simple. I just copy and paste it. Next thing that you want to do is get some conversation starters. So if you're going, maybe you need a bit of inspiration to prompt this GPT. So you can put that into conversation starters over here. Let's grab this one here, and then the last one. And the last one over here. Okay, so now that you've got your conversation starters ready, you can start uploading those documents. So what you would need to do is, this would be blank on your side. You wouldn't have this information, but you just click on upload files. And this is where you start feeding the data and information that's relevant to this GPT. In our case with Alex, he's going to be making key decisions around the business strategy. So you really want to upload documents that are relevant to that role. If it's compliance, then upload it with Sophia. She's going to be dealing with compliance. So what I've done over here, just uploaded some key documents, have uploaded a spreadsheet with a budget as well, and just make sure that this is checked, because it isn't checked when you first initially do it. But Code Interpreter allows you to essentially provide access to the GPT to be able to interpret and just manage and scan this information. So the PDFs and Excel documents. If you have anything that you want to add to reference, you can also include URLs. So if the GPT needs to look at some URLs that are real time, you can also include those URLs. Okay, once that's done, you click on update. And essentially the GPT should be ready to go. You'll see over here, you can access the GPT by yourself. I've just given invite only, or you can make it available on the GPT store. So if you want it to be accessible by anyone, again, it's not referencing your data, but it's just the way it prompts and engages. You can build your own art, and you can also search on the GPT store. Okay, so let's go back into our GPTs, and you can see Alex is over here. Okay, so now that you've got Alex up and ready, essentially they'll pop up over here, and you can start chatting to your GPT. So if we say over here, you can see his setup, and he's got these conversation starters over here. So we can prompt him, and then all you need to do to activate one of the GPTs is to actually put the @ sign. And once you've added the @sign, essentially that GPT is now available. So you can see Ethan's been added to this chat. Work with Ethan to come up with a strategy 2025 based on for sales. Basic prompt, but let's see what it comes up with. Okay, so it's come up with a couple of things that essentially are a bit generic. So I would say rather just prompt it, access see what it comes up with. No, so it seems like it's looking at something else, but essentially, let's go here. So it's searching the knowledge, and you can see over here, oops. And you can see over here, it's actually got information all based to our budget, and it's based on real info. So 1 or 2 prompts, and essentially that starts working. So you can see over here, it is now accessing the information that you've got. And if you go into your GPTs, just make sure on every single GPT, you prompt it with the code, the information that I've shared in this document for you, as well as the conversation starters, and then upload any files. So that really helps essentially with the conversation starters and utilizing the GPTs. But what I've also included is some free prompts. And this helps you think of some ideas around what prompts or questions do you actually want to ask this GPT. So you can literally just copy these these prompts into the GPT. Please do copy this section over here. The important thing about working with AI is that you need to give it context. It needs to ask you clarity or clarifying questions. And the way I like to look at it is actually having an interview with myself so that it understands best on how to work with you. So not to make it overwhelming, I've said put in 2 to 3 questions at a time until you get good context. So you can see over here, there's 10 questions for each GPT. So just to recap, you would go into ChatGPT, click on your GPTs, create a GPT. It opens up on this screen, and you can now copy and paste those prompts and copy and paste the information from this document over here. And then with the documents that you've uploaded, you can start interacting with that GPT, and it can start talking to the other GPTs. Awesome. That is essentially how to create an AI advisory board. Here's the link that you will get to use for that Google Doc. And then think about, how do you implement the AI advisory board? If there's other tools that you need to start bringing in, you can really get technical. So if you've got a CRM that it needs to access, if you need it to access your Google Analytics dashboard, that can all be put into the back end of these GPTs. And then start monitoring and just making sure that the outputs you're getting are relevant. It is going to hallucinate. There is a chance of that, but then just keep it, the AI is working for you. Don't let you work for the AI, essentially. And that's pretty much it as a wrap. Would love to hear from you in the comment section. So any questions and answers. And if you do want more insights and you want to grow our community, you can go to zap-studio. You can join our waitlist. We are doing a soft launch. So we are going to be helping businesses within these key services. And we've actually got a couple of documents that you can get, and you've got a return on investment calculator that you can work with. And if you'd like to get any tips and tricks, you can join that waiting list and we'll send you some information. So have a look at Zapdash, but for now, I will take questions and answers.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Mike. I really love these GPTs. So there's two particular questions that was shared on this end of the studio. So the one was which one would you use? So GPTs, custom GPTs, or projects in ChatGPT? Whoever says that he's finding himself using projects more and more and more. I've got a view on that, but happy for you to go first and let's see what you think about those two. How do you decide between custom GPT and using a project?
I think the projects really help with a collective from your teams. So if your teams are going to be utilizing the GPTs, I'd recommend working with projects. For me, I like to have a one-on-one with the GPT, so I prefer utilizing my GPTs. So that's the way I like to look at it.
Yeah, it's interesting because I found that initially, the whole idea of projects is that you share common knowledge and then it works just like a custom GPT. But I found that it's much more of a organizational tool than it is a custom GPT, because there's lots of things that you can't do in projects that you can do with custom GPTs. So they're not the same thing. They may both have knowledge and they may both have instructions, but they fundamentally can do different things. So so the one is a specialized tool and the other one is a collection of conversations around particular knowledge and with specific instructions. So I think two different use cases. And then Mel is asking if you are available to assist, but I guess you answered that question. Join the waitlist, Mel, to set this up for us as advisors at a fee. So the short answer, Mike, is yes. But maybe share again your soft launch and what you're going to do.
Yeah, so with Zapdash, really helping with automating processes in your business, really to help take a lot of the admin and time away that you could spend on growing your business, essentially. And then one of the use cases as well is setting up GPTs. No cost. This literally what I've shown you here, you can do yourself. For that investment of 400 Rand a month. But if you do need help, you can join our waitlist. We'll be monitoring there if it's more bespoke. But essentially, really this resource, you can set it up yourself. What I would recommend, guys, is just training it. If there's notes, minutes of other meetings that you want to include, just share that into the GPT or projects, depending on your preference. And then this is a copy and paste. But keep training it to get better.
Fantastic. Mike, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. And thanks for the sponsorship from Zapdash as well. And really appreciate it. And just on that note, if the experience I have with Flock events or anything to go by, you will definitely also have a fantastic experience with Zapdash. It's the same people, a lot of the same teams and that. So really excited for what's going to happen here. And also we'll be working closely with them on that front as well. So really excited for that.